Okay, so the next exercise I'm going to show you is called the jerk press, and it really exemplifies to me how the kettlebell is really about functional strength. With Western style weightlifting, I was always accused of cheating every time I tried to use momentum or anything. But the truth is, we never isolate a muscle in real life anyway. It's all about functional strength, movement patterns of the body that make sense. This is, for me, a fairly heavy kettlebell. It's 53 pounds. And for me, I can almost press it, but not really. But I can use it all day long doing the jerk press or the push press. With the regular press, I talked to you about how the line from the pinky to the elbow stays plumb all the way up. Well, that's if I've got it under constant load. With the jerk press and the push press, I'll start with the push press. I sit back into my hips. Once I get the kettlebell in a rack position, I sit back into my hips and I hoist it up a bit. Once it's moving, I then press with my arm. And I can easily press this up. Now in that case, the ball, we don't want the ball to make some big swinging arc out here to keep the forearm straight, because it's not under load. We're pressing it and it's floating up in the air, and in that case, I'm just fine to have my arm like this, as long as I get it up high enough to be able to lock it out at the top. If it's locked out properly at the top, then the weight goes directly through me into my feet. I'm not lifting it anymore, I'm just balancing it. My bicep should touch my earlobe, or brush my ear. If my deltoid touches my ear, then my arm's out of socket. Keep this down and in. Now, even that, after a while, once I've done it a few times, especially with this weight, gets really difficult to do. In that case, you do the jerk press, which is exactly the same thing, only once it gets going, to straighten my arm, I either got to straighten here or drop here, which is what I do. Once I get it up to this point, I drop to lock the arm by sitting back into my hips again. So it's sit back and hips, hip, hip. All three stages use the hip. At no point am I using the arm as the primary mover of the kettlebell.